So we are just about set, and we are underway. Limestone wins the opening tip out of bounds. So the first possession of the game will go to Mars Hill, so an interesting start. And there you see, off to a rousing start here with the opening tip getting knocked out of bounds. Don't see that every day. Limestone had a tough test last night going against Wingate. They wound up falling 59-55. Meanwhile, Mars Hill with that 30-point victory was really able to run much of their second unit for a majority of the second half. So we'll see, or should see, Mars Hill a much more rested team, and they get on the scoreboard first, dropping down the three. Is that up and good? Mars Hill in the blue is currently And there you see the good defense from Mars Hill, getting the shot clock violation against Limestone, and early on seeing the effects of that rest that Mars Hill got towards the tail end of yesterday. Limestone playing the later game, and of course having to play down to the wire, wound up losing by 4 as a deep three ball shot no good. Rebound pulled in for the Saints as Walter Cole clears. He passes ahead. Now here's Assad Woods. Woods had a nice game yesterday for the Saints. Woods played 38 minutes, picked up a couple of steals, although he did have 9 turnovers. Collected 6 boards on the day. Knocked down 9 free throws in his efforts. Picking up 19 total points to lead the Saints attack. Saints still looking for their first basket. They'll get the inbound underneath on the baseline. They'll come to the wing. Reset at the top. Here's Shaq Dance working. Shot clock under 25. Dance thought about using that high screen, instead waits. They come near side. Here's Cole. Goes to the top. Where Teron Wallace. Now back down to Woods. To the middle for Cole. Cole spins inside, right-handed shot won't go. Rebound pulled in by Mars Hill. Saints still yet to get on the scoreboard as Mars Hill takes over. You see Bauer up top, number 12, with the gauze over his eye. He had a nasty collision in the Belmont Abbey game yesterday. Both members of the were bleeding afterwards as his shot rims out. Rebound by Cuthbertson. His putback no good, but he's fouled on his way up. And Cuthbertson, who was such a big part of the offense in that first game yesterday, back at it again. Agukwe called for his first foul. That's the first team foul as well. So Cuthbertson will get a pair. Cuthbertson in that game yesterday had 10 points, and he was 8 for 8 from the free throw line, so a majority of his scoring came from the charity stripe, and he's good on the first one here today. So he's now 9 for 9 from the stripe to start his season. That's an excellent start for him. Mars Hill with a 6-0 lead over the Saints here early on. And finally he's off. So the 10th one doesn't go, but he makes his first 9, including 8 yesterday. Splits a pair here in the early goings. Woods drives, spins, dishes. They swing it to the corner for Dance. Dance pumps and steps out of bounds along the baseline drive. Good perimeter defense. Closing the gap and holding tight was Justin Yergin along the far side baseline. He gets the step out of bounds, forces the turnover, and Mars Hill will take over yet again. Mars Hill 2 for 4. Yergin, shot no good. Rebound pulled in down low, putback shot won't go either. Good second effort by Jalen Witherspoon, but he can't get it to drop. Witherspoon came off the bench yesterday. Gets the start in this one. Witherspoon from nearby Monroe. And an offensive foul called down low. Assad Woods whistled for the foul as he came crashing into the paint. Seeing tremendous defense from this team that held Belmont Abbey to 55 yesterday. That's the same total that Limestone scored. Both the 55 scorers were losing efforts as Yergin from the elbow won't drop. Rebound pulled in by Dance as he clears. Limestone spreading the floor. Come inside, Shaq Dance. Had it poked away by Witherspoon. Throws it all the way across the court. Got it to Moreau. He throws it inside, backing down Zagukwe. He doesn't like what he sees, so he throws it back out. They'll reset at the top. Woods with it, 10 on the shot clock. Now Dance, drives, dishes, Woods for 3. No good. Rebound pulled in by Cuthbertson, and again, Mars Hill keeps the Saints off the scoreboard. And a foul called underneath. They're going to get a hold on, looks like Agukwe underneath. So Agukwe all of a sudden has a couple of fouls, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 15:45 left to play in the first half. It's 6-0. Mars Hill Lions with possession out of the media timeout. Cuthbertson at the top. Now Yergin. Yergin drives, backs out, will hand off to Bauer. Bauer doesn't use the screen, dribbles into the lane, runs into trouble, and walks with it as he came into the team defense of A.J. Evans, who was checked into the game, and Agukwe, who wound up staying into the game. And now he'll check out. Teron Wallace checks back into the game. Limestone still trying for their first points. 0 for 5 from the floor here in the early going. They dish to the wing. A 3-ball to get him on the board. No good. Rebound pulled in by Mars Hill, and they get a leak with Yergin, but he'll slow up as he crosses into the front court. Yergin gets it back from Bauer. Using the high screen, sets up for a wide open 3. Doesn't get it to go. And the Saints pull in the rebound. Woods lost possession for a moment. Has it poked away by Yergin. Able to recover. Slides it over to Shaq Dance. Streaking through, left-handed layup, no good, but he's fouled on en route to the hoop. And he'll get a pair at the line as they get the foul called against Mars Hill. It was Thomas Anderson, the senior forward from Terre Haute, Indiana, who was whistled for the foul. So Shaq Dance will get a pair at the line now and a chance to get the Saints on the board. Dance's first free throw attempt, nothing but net. Dance, the redshirt sophomore guard, stands at 6'4", buck 80 from Garner, North Carolina. And he makes both. Dance, who contributed 12 points in the losing effort last night, gets the first pair for Limestone. Yergin, another 3, and he gets it to go, gets bumped to the floor, but able to get the follow through anyway. Yergin, who had the 18 yesterday, drops in the 3-ball there. It's 9-2. Now Dance back on the attack. They'll send it down low. Woods able to fight off Yergin, and Yergin whistled for the block inside. Juergen, his first foul, second team foul. 2 straight possessions for the Saints. Now they've drawn a foul on the defense, and they'll inbound under the basket. Up top, Dance settles. Juergen working on him. Left-handed dribble into the lane, dishes near side, step inside, 2-ball up and good. Walter Cole knocks it down. Cole, who was 2 of 4 from the floor last night, gets it to go. And 2 straight successful possessions now for Limestone, trying to get back on the attack and keep pace with this Mars Hill offense. Juergen running in, floater gets it to go. Nice finish on the finesse touch as he steps about 8 feet from the basket and drops it in. Juergen has 5 to lead the Mars Hill attack here early on. Cole sets it back to Dance. Now Shaq Dance working on Juergen, drives in, right-hand layup up and good for Shaq Dance. Has a nice maneuver, and he gets the right-handed take. Got a step past Juergen. Now a 2-ball from the wing. That won't go. It hung up on the rim for an extra couple of bounces, but doesn't fall as Witherspoon took the shot. Dance returns, dishes. Cole, and he walked as he tried to fake and faked himself out. And Cole will check out of the match. Substitution for Limestone. Mars Hill brings it up with Bauer. Dishes inside. Now Anderson takes it out, throws it inside. Witherspoon gets it down low, and a nice pass to Cuthbertson. Tough turnaround shot, won't go. Bomar playing solid defense right in the good spot. Limestone on a bit of a run here. Dance, he's been the main culprit, but he can't get that left-handed layup to fall. Anderson with the rebound sends Bauer forward. Now he cross-courts it to Juergen, who pulls up for 3. It rattles in but doesn't fall. Assad Woods starts it back. Dance to the corner. He'll get it back. Limestone coach Brandon Scott calling his play with 20 left on the shot clock. Dance drives. Puts it up again. This time kisses off the glass. Too short. And a foul called inside against Mars Hill during the loose ball rebound. They're going to get Anderson again. That's his second. And we'll see how Mars Hill chooses to respond to that. That's the 3rd team foul, second on Anderson. And just like we saw yesterday, looks like Mars Hill is going to make a whole host of changes as they get that next group out there that includes Michael Carson, number 0. Carson had a phenomenal game yesterday, one of the 4 in double digits, a lone bench player to get to double figures. He dropped 13 on 5 of 7 shooting. Both of his misses from long range, where he went 2 of 4. Also had a steal and a turnover in the efforts. Off the inbound, wing 3 doesn't fall. And fresh into the game, Casillo Villegas pulls in the rebound. He's got it now, swings it to the corner. 3-ball up, rattles off both sides of the rim, but doesn't drop. Offensive rebound pulled in. Rebound shot doesn't go, and Bomar will clear for Limestone. Brandon Watkins had the second chance opportunity, couldn't get the layup to fall. Watkins, the freshman, now on defense as Dance drives and draws the foul. So another foul. Excellent job by Limestone in the recent moments, putting pressure on the Mars Hill defense. They've made some adjustments. They've cut the deficit to 5, 11-6. Mars Hill leads Limestone. Timeout on the floor with 11:31 left to play here in the first half in the 2014 Ortho Carolina Tip-Off Challenge. Back here inside Cuddy Arena, the Bulldogs hosting the 2014 Ortho Carolina Tip-Off Challenge. Game 1 of our doubleheader here tonight, featuring Mars Hill and Limestone. Mars Hill jumped out to an early romp, 9-2. They were up at one point. It's now 11-6. 11:31 left to play here in the first half. Out of the second media timeout, Limestone on possession. Nice drive and take by Evans Moreau. He gets it to drop. It's a 3-point game. Limestone finally able to find some space inside. They were trying those outside shots early that weren't dropping. They're starting to penetrate a little bit more now and get their offense going. That pass back for Carson, tipped away, but hauled in by the long reach of Villegas. As he takes it in, it's knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Mars Hill. Villegas just saved a turnover there, extending his long left arm and hauling it in. Villegas stands at 6'8", 203 pounds, and he needed every inch of it to haul it in. Carson feeds it down low. Villegas sets it back up top. They swing it to the far side. Three ball won't go as the shot clock was expiring, and Shaq Dance hauls it in. Dance left-handed dribble brings it up. And that man-to-man defense gets help on the drive, and they get the stop. Turning it and flying back the other way now as they set it near side. Haynes thought about a three, instead takes it in, kicks it back out. Mars Hill will reset Monroe with it. Carson at the top now. Here's Kevin Haynes, the junior guard from Snellville, Georgia. He gets it to Carson. Swing around rear side. Monroe sets it down low. Still trying to find an avenue. They take a long shot, bank it off the glass and in for Haynes. He'll take it. As the three ball doubles the lead, it's now a 6-point advantage for Mars Hill. Justin Holloman reverses field. We got a foul inside. Carson whistled for the hold as he was trying to slow up Evans Moreau. As you'll see, again, the three ball bang right off the window. When you're first learning the game of basketball at 4 or 5 years old, that's where they tell you to aim for. Say if you hit it in the box, it's got a pretty good chance of banking in, and that time it did exactly that. Neither team in the bonus yet. Foul gets the inbound for Limestone. They'll set their half-court offense. Still working against that zone coverage now, the 1-3-1. That pass errant, intercepted. And now Haynes will set it back the other way. Limestone setting up in a 2-3 zone. They get the three ball over it, and that catches nothing. Carson airballs. Another empty possession for Mars Hill. Limestone returns. Shaq Dance drives, dishes. Cole fake the shot, drives on Haynes, puts up a tough right-handed baseline drive. That won't go. Holloman inside, forces it up and gets fouled. Holloman was surrounded by three blue jerseys, just chucked it up and was able to get the whistle from the referee. That's the sixth foul, so one away from a 1-and-1. Foul was called on Brandon Watkins. Watkins, that's his second foul off the bench. Coach Rick Scruggs talking to the official. You see it in the upper right-hand part of your corner of your screen as he wants an explanation on the foul. Makes the second. And it's a 5-point game. Carson swings it. Villegas back to Carson. Stout defense staying in that 2-3 zone are the Saints. Carson again as that zone collapses. And we've got a foul away from the play. Limestone. That rattles around and in. And an illegal screen called against Limestone as they try to set their half-court offense. Here you watch again the take inside. Nice little turnaround left-handed floater that drops in for Thomas Anderson, the starter who's checked back in for Mars Hill. Cuthbertson back in as well, as is Bauer. Bauer bringing the ball up now. Juergens checked in as well. The lone sub still in, Monroe. From the corner, it was Jürgen. His shot no good. Cuthbertson pulls in the offensive rebound. And another foul called against Limestone. And walking with it, Monroe, as he was trying to look for an inset pass to the low block. So with that, we've come to a timeout on the floor. 7 as he's going right to left on possession here. Clock 7:45 and running. Limestone sets their half-court offense. Shaq Dance uses a screen from Bomar. Sends it over to Holloman, who thought about a three. Instead pulls it in. Dance will reset at the top. Being worked on by Jürgen, able to shake him. Working against that zone, tries a long-range three, doesn't fall, but Limestone pulls in the rebound, fresh shot clock. And they'll work it around, get it to Dance. He streaks in, makes a couple men miss, and gets fouled as he goes for the layup that doesn't fall, but he'll get two at the line. At the end of the play, Thomas Anderson a bit shaken up as he's hobbled, calling for a substitution. Hopefully he's all right, able to get off the court on his own power. Anderson will check out. And Brandon Watkins will come back in. First free throw good, and Limestone's reached double digits now. And they've also reached the bonus, as that was the 7th team foul. Mars Hill clears the board and is back the other way. Another illegal screen called against Mars Hill. 8th team foul. But remember, those offensive fouls don't count as personals that would lead to a 1-and-1 situation. It does get them closer, however, to the two shots, as the referee checking over with the scorer's table. 7 and a tick remaining in the first half. Jack Dance brings it across, working on Jürgen. Drives it in, loses possession as he goes up for the layup. Cuthbertson starts it back the other way. Jürgen on it now. Working on Dance. Dance pokes it away from behind. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a baseline inbound upcoming for Mars Hill. Referee again heading over to the scorer's table. Just checking on the clock. As you see the team setting up for the rebound, referee checking over with the scorekeeper and the scoreboard operator. As there you get a look at what they're looking at. So another pause here in this first half. There you see Mars Hill's head coach Rick Scruggs looking on. Mars Hill with a 3-point lead at the moment. Looks as though everything's all settled. Don't believe they had put that three-pointer up. That came off the missed free throw. So they get the point situated. And now we resume play. One possession advantage. Carson drives in, tough right-hander, won't go. Cuthbertson puts it back, and he's fouled as he goes up for the rebound Cuthbertson, who was close to a double-double yesterday, 10 points, 8 boards. Holloman's called for the foul. Cuthbertson yesterday had the 10 points and 8 boards and played only 23 minutes, so a little bit more than a half. Nobody on Mars Hill played more than 23 minutes yesterday except for Patrick Monroe, who played 26. So we talked about being well rested, playing a little over a half, and we've seen it today as we saw yesterday with Scruggs making that almost hockey-style line change with all 5 players on the floor subbing out at the same time, as both free throws don't find the bottom of the net for Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson, who was 8 for 8 from the stripe yesterday, is now just 1 for 4 here a day later. Holloman, who just committed the foul, sets it off for Wallace. Now Shaq Dance settles things at the top. He works on Jurgen, drives in, dishes. Holloman, 3-ball. No good, would have tied the game. Instead, Jurgen pulls it down, starts it the other way. Jurgen, coast to coast, tough little floater, up and good. Another nice finish in the paint for Justin Jurgen. Lead back to 5 for Mars Hill. Mars Hill has to be careful. Saints in a one-and-one situation. They swing it around and get the foul. As I say that, Carson called for the block on the floor. We'll have free throws coming as you'll watch it again. Jurgen streaking the floor, stops and floats it over Holloman for the deuce. And again, great camera work as you see him come right at you, and the nice ability to stop on a dime and float that in. Front end of the 1-and-1. Dropped in. Walter Cole, the freshman guard out of Atlanta, at the line. Cole played 24 minutes yesterday as he knocks down both of his 1-and-1 situation. And it's back to a 3-point game. So Mars Hill kind of doing the same thing they did yesterday against Belmont Abbey, only Limestone's cut the lead much greater. Yesterday, the lead was as high as 22 in the first half as Carson unloads a 3 and down it goes. Again, the clutch shot for the Lions. As Dance back the other way. Belmont Abbey was able to cut the lead down to 15, knocking 7 points off the advantage as we hit halftime yesterday. Dance able to shake off Bauer, lets a 3 fly, no good. Holloman reaches in, pulls it down, and he's called for the foul going over the back. The back official made that call. It happened right in front of the official underneath. He kept his whistle down. It was the back official behind the play who whistled it. So now both teams in the bonus, as that was the 7th team foul called against Limestone. Carson another 3, and again down it goes. Back-to-back threes from Carson, who showed that range yesterday and does it again. Under 5 to play here in the first half. Allman gives it off. Walter Cole now at the top. Carson pressuring him. Dishes to Holloman in the corner. And he walks, going up against a much smaller Bauer. Tried to fake him out. Bauer stood his ground, and he moved. As we're going to look at both of those 3 balls from Carson. First, the step around, and the shot from the wing, and then from straight on, pretty much the exact same spot. Bangs it in again. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Carson. After the lead was cut down to just 3, it's back up to an 8-point advantage for Mars Hill, and they have the basketball. Jurgen gives to Carson. He's got the hot hand, instead swings it to Bauer. Bauer uses a pick from Cuthbert, slides it to the side, where Anderson, who left with an injury earlier, is back in the game. That's good to see. Bauer calls for a pick, gets it from Cuthbertson, sends it to Anderson. And we've got a foul underneath. It's going to be Bomar called away from the play as he tried to guard the roll. Cuthbertson had set the pick and then rolled to the basket. He got pulled up, so we'll get a 1-and-1 opportunity on this end now. Both teams with 8 fouls here in this first half, as Bomar was whistled for his first foul of the game. And Cuthbertson, who has struggled a bit with the free throws here today after being so successful yesterday, another opportunity, this one a one-on-one. His first is good. So Cuthbertson now 2 for 5 from the stripe. He's got 4 points to go along with his 4 rebounds, including 3 offensive rebounds. We mentioned how close he was to a double-double yesterday, and he's inching that way again. The second one rattles around, bangs off the glass, and drops. So 2 for 2 at the stripe makes it a double-digit lead for Mars Hill. Shaq Dance will come back for Limestone now. 2 crosses underneath. They set up their offense up top. Assad Woods working on Jurgen. Will just post up and pull up a shot. The left-handed shot won't go. Rebound pulled in by Mars Hill, and again they try to run the floor. We saw that quick pace attack yesterday. They're off to it again as Carson nearly walked with it. Instead, through Bauer, it goes to Jurgen. He steps back, and Jurgen does walk. He thought he kept that pivot foot down. Referee right on it says he did not. And we have come to a timeout on the floor with 3:45 left to play. They'll inbound the basketball from their own backcourt. Assad Woods throws it in. They get it back to Shaq Dance. Carson playing full court defense one-on-one with him as they bring it across half court. Moreau gives it off. Assad Woods drives in, working on Jurgen. Tough shot, good defense from Jurgen. It won't drop. Cuthbertson pulls in his 5th rebound of the game. Bauer through Anderson to Jurgen. Jurgen to Carson. From the elbow, puts up a jumper. That's no good. And a foul inside on the floor. Called against Bomar, it looks like, for trying to pull that ball in. They either got Bomar or Woods. And it is Bomar called for his second. So again, Cuthbertson will go back to the line for a 1-and-1 situation. He knocked down both in his first opportunity. And one more foul called on Limestone and put Mars Hill in the double bonus. Cuthbertson makes the front end of the 1-and-1. Will get the second free throw. Mars Hill with just 1 forward for an offensive board. It's Anderson, but it doesn't matter because he makes both, and now we'll get a substitution from Limestone after the second free throw. Walter Cole, the freshman, comes back in. As we near halftime, Limestone shooting just 19% from the floor, 4 of 21, including 1 of 9 from long range. As Dance turns, they deliver it inside. Holloman looking. That's Woods, excuse me. His cross-court pass intercepted by Cuthbertson. Jurgen the other way, stops and pops for a straight on 3, and down it goes. What a transitional play that time by Mars Hill as they took the errant pass on the interception, and Jurgen just trotted right down the middle and knocked down the open 3. Cole trying to answer the 3 of his own, doesn't go. Cuthbertson aboard. Now Jurgen, long court pass. Carson fakes the shot, steps in. Mid-range jumper, good from about 12 feet. He knocks it down. And now this lead swelling. It's all the way up to 17. A huge run here. It was 18-15. At one point, it's now 32-15. A 14-0 run. And a travel here against the Saints. The bleeding continues as Mars Hill just dominating at the tail end. Here you'll take a look at a couple of those plays. First, the cross-court pass intercepted by Cuthbertson, and then watch Jurgen just trot down. And, oh, if you're going to retreat on me, I'll just stop and pop. And then Carson, after the pump fake, steps in, and the mid-range juice. Another 3 ball. This time it doesn't go for Jurgen as we resume live action. Bomar pulls in the board. Limestone has not scored in over 4 minutes as they drive in and kiss it right off and in at the 4:07 mark since their last basket. That breaks up the 15-point run by Limestone. The shot no good. Rebound up and good for Cuthbertson again as he gets the rebound and follows it up with the deuce inside. That's just too easy. Under 90 seconds left to play in the first half. Mars Hill doubling up Limestone 34-17. Limestone with the rock. Dance, dishes far side, 3-ball up and good. Teron Wallace gets it to go, the redshirt sophomore out of Florida. Gets Limestone to 20. Anderson tries to go inside to Cuthbertson, poked away by Bomar, but Cuthbertson recovered and clears it out. They'll go to the top as we're under a minute left to play in the opening half. Carson uses the screen, steps back, takes a three. That rattles around but does not go. Wood starts it the other way. He has Dance in the corner. Instead he drives in, bounces off Yergin, and gets the foul. Called against Yergin, so we'll have free throws coming. Second foul called on Yergin. Both teams with 9 team fouls now. And Assad Woods will get a 1-and-1. A couple of substitutions. They're going to get Carson and Yergin out of the game for these final 41 seconds. No need to let Yergin pick up a senseless third foul here in the closing minute of the first half. Instead, they'll send Jalen Witherspoon back in at the guard position, and Haynes as well. Front end of the 1-and-1 drops down for Woods. He'll get another opportunity. Can't connect on the second. Cuthbertson clears. Bauer brings it across the mid-stripe. About 5 seconds splitting the shot clock and the game clock. No 5 count. Now it starts. As Bauer works it with under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Uses the Anderson screen, drives, dishes, 3-ball from Haynes, no good off front iron. Rebound pulled in by Anderson, tries a long-range layup, that doesn't go. It pokes free and pulled in a long-range shot from Witherspoon as time expires. But it would have counted, but does. Possession arrow, so that switches now. Mars Hill will get the possession arrow to start this second half. And on the throw-in, we are underway. And the second half begins just as the first did, with a quick whistle. Exactly 4 seconds in, just like it did in that first half. You notice both teams with 4 timeouts now. Neither team took one of their 30-second timeouts, but if you don't use one in the first half, you lose it. So they did both drop down to 4 timeouts remaining, 3 30s and a full timeout. Off the swing, pass up and dropping down a 3 for Limestone, Teron Wallace. He had one of the 2 that went in for Limestone in the first half. We showed you his highlight, and he comes back and drops a long-range 3, cuts the deficit to 10. So that's a promising sign for Limestone coming out of the gates. Witherspoon right back the other way, tries a 3 of his own. That doesn't drop. Mars Hill took 18 threes in that first half, made 5 of them. That goes through the legs of Bomar, out of bounds. The Mars Hill bench was calling for a walk. As you'll watch again, the 3-ball dropped in, nothing but net on the catch and release by Teron Wallace. Bauer brings it up. He and Anderson from the backcourt. Throw it in tight. Now Cuthbertson deals it out wide. Bauer, little stop, stutter step move, hesitation at the basket, doesn't go. Inside, it's still free, poked over to Witherspoon, and down it goes. Another offensive rebound for Cuthbertson. Isaiah Cuthbertson with 11 total rebounds now, including 6 on the offensive glass. Cuthbertson is 1 point away from a double-double already. He's got 9 points, now 11 boards. They work it inside. Akugwe has it taken away by Anderson down low. Didn't even see Anderson. He just reached in, ripped it out. Yergin to Anderson. And we've got a foul called. I believe they're going to get Shaq Dance on the foul after the pass was released. Yergin was trying to make a cut after passing that off to Anderson. His progress was impeded. Oh, they're going to get Agukwe underneath. It's his 3rd foul, so he'll come sit down. First team foul against Limestone. Witherspoon off the inbound, kisses it high off the glass, going over the much taller Bomar and gets it to drop. Witherspoon, as we've mentioned here during this weekend, from right down the road in Monroe. Shaq Dance with it now. Uses a screen from Bomar. Gives up the roll, gives it back to Woods. They swing it to Cole. And yes, Cole knocks it down. Cole attempted 1-3 in the first half, didn't get it to go. He's good there. So already Limestone has matched their 3-point total from the first half. As Cuthbertson knocks in the 2, and with that he has reached the double-double threshold. Give him 11 points now. Cuthbertson, who had 10 and 8 yesterday, in just 23 minutes, a double-double here today. And he's still got 17 and a half remaining on the clock here in the second half. Nifty little move inside that time. Walter Cole with the sidestep gets it to drop. He's got 5 straight points for Limestone. Anderson checks it to Yergin. Now he'll drop down low. 2-3 zone by Limestone as they swing it. Yergin using a screen from Cuthbertson gives it off to Witherspoon. He goes down low, and an offensive foul, I believe they got called, as Assad Woods was brushed out of the way. Yep, Cuthbertson called for that offensive foul on the violation on the screen. So Limestone, who has a chance to cut the deficit to single digits here, trailing by 11. The hold up top. Witherspoon causing problems for Dance, who is trying to set the offense the way he wants. Now he goes to Cole. Woods from just beyond the free throw line, drives in, dishes out wide from the wing. 3-ball up off back iron, no good. Rebound pulled in by Anderson. Anderson starts Bauer the other way. As he carries in down low, able to save it with Witherspoon. Anderson tips it back to Bauer. Go across court to Yergin for 3, and he makes it pay off with another 3-ball. Justin Yergin drops it down. Yergin, who was in double figures at halftime, gets another 3 to go. Looks like Patrick Monroe is going to check in for Mars Hill at the next opportunity, as that pass is high. Was it deflected? Yes, it was. Baseline referee says it was touched on its way out, so it will stay with Limestone. And there we get the substitution. Witherspoon will exit. About 4 minutes gone by here in this second half. Cole, another 3-ball, and again down it goes. Walter Cole coming out of the locker room, firing on all cylinders. The big stretch in this game that gave Mars Hill the big lead when it went from 18-15 at the 5:44 mark of the first half all the way to 32-15 at the 2:32. A 3-minute stretch of 14 unanswered points by Mars Hill got them a huge lead. But there another shot made on the Limestone Mars Hill end, and it's back to 11. As Bomar miscommunication, he was trying to swing it to Woods. Woods started to cut towards the basket, and it winds up going into the Limestone bench. And with that, we've reached a timeout on the floor. 15-25 remaining in the second half, a 14-point lead. Yesterday putting up 85. They've got 46 through the first 25 minutes of action here today. Mars Hill trying to keep the sweep going over the sack as Monroe drops down a bucket. He was inside the 3-point line, so that's a 2. But he extends the lead to 16. The sack going 2-0 over Conference Carolinas yesterday, with Mars Hill getting the win over Belmont Abbey, and then the Wingate Bulldogs getting the victory over Limestone. Now Mars Hill with a double-digit advantage over those same Saints, as they're going to get a traveling violation there. The up and down called against Limestone's A.J. Evans. You're going to see Monroe step just inside the arc and then blister the net with that 2-ball. The Belmont Abbey Crusaders will be in action tonight, taking on the host Bulldogs. We'll have that for you here on the Wingate Sports Network. Monroe chucks up a three. Doesn't go, but there's a foul underneath. Bomar called for the infraction as he banged into Cuthbertson, knocked him to the floor right in front of the baseline official. Bomar with his third foul. So Okugwe will come back in. Okugwe also has 3 fouls. So the big men in foul trouble for Limestone here. As Monroe gets it on the inbound. They'll take it wide, tries to insert it underneath. And we've got a foul called underneath, and it's on Okugwe. And that's just about the worst thing that could have happened. As Okugwe comes right into the game for Bomar, picks up his 4th foul. So they'll be playing very touch and go with their big men down the stretch. Okugwe especially, he's 1 foul away from fouling out of this contest. Yergin from the wing, 3-ball, no. Saved by Evans, he gives it up top. And now Dance starts the other way, crossing court to Woods. They'll break that press from Yergin. Woods steps into the paint, dishes out near side. They swing it around. It's Dance at the top being worked on by Yergin. He'll give it off to Assad Woods. Woods drives left, stops, fakes the handoff, goes inside. And the foul inside is 42 in blue, fouls 42 in white. And there you get a look at Cuthbertson, who was just whistled for that foul. That's his 2nd foul, 2nd on the team as well. As this busy weekend for Bulldog Athletics continues, the Bulldogs in action here tonight in men's basketball. The women's basketball team lost earlier today. Football team took a tough 27-7 defeat at Carson Newman earlier as well. Men's soccer plays in their regional semifinal tonight at 7 o'clock at Limestone, as they'll take on the Saints, who are looking for some revenge not only for the loss earlier in the season, but also for the men's basketball loss last night. As a nice back down turnaround jumper. And the bucket for Okugwe. Now Anderson steps back, gives it to Yergin. He looks inside, gets it to Cuthbertson, sets it to the top, Monroe. After Monroe uses the screen, puts up the 3, that's no good. And saved along the baseline by Woods. Limestone, remember, had to play the late game yesterday, and they played a tight one all the way down the stretch. They're a little more banged up than Mars Hill, who played the 5 o'clock game yesterday, had the full 24 hours of rest. As from the corner, a 3-ball short. And they also had the 30-point win, so they were able to keep everybody's minutes in check. Nobody played more than 26 minutes for Limestone, or for Mars Hill, excuse me, and only 1 played more than 23. Okugwe got the start yesterday against Wingate. Did not start here today. Bomar got the start as Yergin from deep knocks down the 3, close to NBA range. As Yergin pulls up and knocks that down out of the timeout. And we are told that it was, in fact, Mars Hill who took that timeout. As Limestone swings it to the corner. Woods drives on Bauer, stops, and he's pushed as the foul goes, and they'll say it was on the floor, so no free throws coming. It'll be a baseline throw-in as we'll watch it again. The step back deep 3-ball for Yergin. And with that, we have reached a North Carolina tip-off classic. It'll be the Bulldogs and Crusaders tonight. Carson drives in, right-handed shot, no good. Rebound pulled in. Back the other way, streaking and laying it in is Dance. As they cross in the front court, there's a foul away from the ball for a hold. See who they got. It's Wallace. He's called for his first foul. It's team's 5th. Still 2 away from a 1-and-1 opportunity. Bauer to the corner. Carson loses it, able to regain possession. Working on Wallace. Goes cross court to Monroe. And another foul called. This time it's an offensive foul away from the play. Looks like they got Monroe. Monroe called for his second foul. And both teams now with 5 team fouls. Limestone, a 3 could cut this to a single-digit deficit. They trail by 12. Dance plays catch with Bomar. Now feeds it inside. And an offensive foul called as they try to go into Woods. And I believe that's who they got. Yep, Assad Woods called for the foul as he was trying to fight off Cuthbertson. Woods, who stands at 6'4", 215 pounds. Cuthbertson 6'6", 210. So the size not all that different. Now Anderson tries to wrap around and throw it on another offensive foul. Back-to-back possessions with offensive fouls called. And it's Cuthbertson whistled for the infraction here. That's his third. And both teams 6 team fouls. There you go, look at Bomar and Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson has got a double-double here today. Woods goes up strong over Cuthbertson, doesn't get it. Bomar offensive rebound, kicks it out. 3-ball up, that's an air ball, doesn't catch anything. It's still loose, leaping around, it's finally pulled in by Cuthbertson, and a blocking foul as the two bodies come together right at midcourt. Shaq Dance tried to step in his path and draw the charge, but he is whistled for the block as you'll watch it again. And yeah, that's a good call. He was still ranging backwards. Dance didn't like it, but with a great look from our zoom cam, you can see that he was still retreating as he got in the way. And even though he still has the right to the spot, he was moving both laterally and horizontally, and because of that, the foul, and that gets us to a 1-1 situation. Mars Hill now in the bonus. Sinks the front end of the 1-1, does Cuthbertson. And sinks them both, so Mars Hill now 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Limestone 8 of 11. So that's about as even as it can get. Limestone, who has not led in this game, trail big here, down by 14 as that pass is tipped away by Cuthbertson and will stay here. There you see Cuthbertson, what a day he's having. Center played 28 minutes, 7 of 10 from the charity stripe. He's got every single free throw that Mars Hill has taken. He's got 12 rebounds, 6 on either end of the floor, as that will count, and the foul. Strong take from Shaq Dance. Cuthbertson, though, 13 points, 12 boards. He's also got a steal. As you watch, again, Dance is taking Bauer one-on-one, and Bauer with the bump as he was putting it up, able to get the nice spin off the glass, but can't complete the three-point play as that clangs off the front iron short. Dance, who's got 14 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists. His team trailing by 12. Jurgen at the top, calling for a screen as we dip under 8 to play in the second half. Takes it himself, reverses direction. Can't get the left-handed layup. It's free underneath and finally wrestled away. Nice job by Teron Wallace to get control. Now sprinting the other way, Dance. Kicks it to the far side, Cole. And a walk as Wallace caught and moved that front step too early. And that will bring us to immediate timeout. Timeout on the floor with 7-4. Levy bringing you all the action of our doubleheader here today. Your great crew, led by Aaron Kennedy, the producer and director. Our camera operators working hard as well, Trey and TJ Harrell. And Madison Van Hoy also manning the cameras for you for the Ortho Carolina tip-off challenge. Mars Hill with the ball and the lead as Jurgen steps back 3 ball, catches nothing. He's asking the referee right behind him if it was tipped. He says no, saying he just came up short on his own accord. So the air ball and the turnover. Wallace just faked the defender out of his shoes. Now the drive. Foul, shot no good as Walter Cole came flying in, but he will get the chance to see, do they call it on the floor or in the act of shooting. Both teams are in the bonus right now, but that was a foul in the act of shooting, so it'll be 2 shots regardless. First one knocked down. Second free throw is good. It's a 10-point game here as we dip under 7 minutes in the second half. Mars Hill in their blue jerseys going right to left on your screen. Bauer fouled as he tried to range towards the middle. Shaq Dance called for his second foul. It's the 8th on the Saints. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity. Bauer will head to the line. This is the first free throw attempt by a Lion not named Isaiah Cuthbertson. Bauer knocks it in. The team now 8 of 11 and make it 9 of 12 as Bauer hits both. For Valentine Bauer, it's just his first 2 points of the game. He does have 4 assists and a steal to his credit. As a big-time jam from Shaq Dance as he shimmies on through and slams it down for a pair. Perhaps that Mars Hill D lacking a bit, and Dance took advantage. Handoff to Carson. Shot from the elbow, up and good. Carson answers right back with a nice handoff using that natural pick and then sinking the shot from the elbow. Trading buckets back and forth. Dance drives in, and we've got a foul called against Mars Hill as he tried to penetrate. We're going to take a look again at the dunk as Dance, just look at that elevation, getting all the way up. Here you go from underneath. Oh, my. What a pretty dunk that is. What even better camera work underneath to capture that. Trey Harrell, you are the dude. As the first free throw is good from Dance. And 2 for 2. Dance has 18. Walter Cole and Shaq Dance have combined for 38 of the Mars Hill 50 points here today. They have put on a clinic. They just need some help down low as Cuthbertson bangs in and lays it in. That's just too easy working on Bomar as he takes advantage of him on the low block, turns around, dunks it in for 2. Dance driving in again. He's hacked as he goes up for the tough right-handed shot. Perhaps he'll bailed out at the end as the defense did good work to force him away from the basket, but then Monroe got him at the last second. It's Monroe's 3rd foul. As Shaq Dance will get a pair at the line. Can't get it to go, and At this point in the game now, 5:41 left on the clock. It's a lot closer than it's felt. Mars Hill has not trailed in this game. They've led by as many as 17. But now the lead is 12, and Dan's had a chance to knock it down to a 10-point game. Now he's got a chance to make it 11. And he does. Cuthbertson leading the charge, hands it off to Monroe. Wide open three. Perhaps had too much time to think about it as it rolls out. Now Woods kicks it to Cole, gets it back. Now Woods will put up the shot, and Cole buries it again. Cole's got 4 3-pointers and 23 points overall. He's cut the lead to single digits. It's an 8-point advantage for Mars Hill. Bauer comes near side Carson. Michael Carson drives in, stops from the NCAA logo, can't get it. Bomar the last to touch it. Cuthbertson saves it, but it goes through and out of bounds. It'll go to the Limestone Saints. Neither side was sure who was the last to touch it, so Cuthbertson tried to save it just to be safe. Winds up throwing it out of bounds along the sideline. You'll watch again the 3-ball dropping in that made it an 8-point game, and now a chance to cut it to a 2-possession game as they cross half court. And again, looked as though an issue with the clock on the scoreboard, so referee stopping things. And as they stop him, we'll get a timeout on the floor. Limestone wants to talk, trying to set up a half-court offense here after the inbound from midcourt. Off the rotation, Cuthbertson out defending on the perimeter. Now it's Cole working on Anderson. Cole drives in, dishes near side. Teron Wallace gives it off. Woods drives in, gets the foul, can't get the left-handed layup to go. That was an excellent move to draw the contact. Then he had an easy layup inside, just a bit off balance as Monroe was called for his 4th foul. Limestone already in the double bonus, but this will be a shooting foul anyway. The first is good. And all of a sudden, Mars Hill not breathing as easy. Just a 7-point lead and a chance to make it a 2-possession game. It's short, though. Rebound was last touched by Cole as on its way out. It was deflected twice. Cole was the last to touch it. So Mars Hill will inbound right in front of their own bench. Full court press coming now from Limestone, who's sensing they've got the momentum towards the stretch. Anderson to Bauer. They are able to break the press, get it across to Cuthbertson. He hands it off. Now they can set up their half-court offense. Bauer ranging in the middle, trying both sides. Now it's him. 10 to shoot. Bauer from the outside uses Anderson. Now Yergin running out of real estate. Anderson will try a 3, and down it goes with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Thomas Anderson, the senior forward out of Indiana. Those Indiana boys can shoot. The foul called inside. I believe it was Cuthbertson on the drive-in. Dance will go to the line as you watch it again. The kick to the wing, and with that shot clock running down, Anderson pulling up and knocking down the 3. We've come to a timeout. Largest lead of the game. They also led 34-17 at one point. As off the inbound, the 3-ball no good, but the offensive rebound is pulled in. Limestone will retain possession. Assad Woods drives. They get it to the top. Walter Cole streaking in, stops, puts it up over Yergin, gets the basket and the foul. Strong take. Yergin just barely got a hand on him as he was going up, and the weak foul will make a 3-point opportunity here for Cole as we'll watch it again. Look at him drive in and maybe just got the fingertips on the follow-through. If either that or they caught him on the right hand before he even started his jump and gave continuation. Either way, a 3-point opportunity. And that's dropped in. So Yergin, who was just called for his third foul, brings it across. Try the three, doesn't get it to go. Monroe picks it up in the corner, a loose ball. Yergin being worked on by Dance. Gives it up to Monroe. Patrick Monroe looks. Anderson now. The Saints trying to lock all windows and doors. Under 15 on the shot clock. They kick it outside. Monroe buries the three right in front of his own bench. And the sharpshooting continues on both ends of the floor. We're going to get the foul inside. And if that was on Okugwe, which I think it is, that's his 5th personal. He's fouled out of the game. And it is. Sami Okugwe picking up his 5th foul with 10:46 left to play in the second half. He'll have to sit the remainder of the game, and Bomar checks back in. Remember, Bomar's got 3 fouls as well. As we've got a whistle as the clock never started. And now the referee telling Limestone's coach, Brandon Scott, to get the rest of his bench in line. Perhaps somebody along that far end of the bench had said something the referee didn't like and went over and talked to the head coach, and the head coach went over and talked to the end of his bench. The lead back to 17. 3rd time it's been this high. It's the highest lead Mars Hill has had. Chance to extend it here with a 2. Rattles around, doesn't go for Carson. Bomar just back into the game. Gets the rebound. Now Woods drives in. Kicks it out to Dance. He'll go far side for the shot for Cole, and down it goes. Walter Cole with another 3-ball. Shots, Shaq Dance. It's his first shot. Rattles around and down it goes. A single-digit deficit now. As the second right-handed free throw drops in. And the 8-point lead for Mars Hill. Full court press on from the Saints. As that pass knocked away from Dance, but it stays as Bauer able to stick with it and haul it in. Loose ball, possession retained. And because the possession turned over, a fresh shot clock. Mars Hill in no particular hurry, trying to shorten this game the best they can. Led by as many as 17, their lead trimmed to single digits here. As Anderson kicks it out. Yergin gives it along to Bauer. 10 to shoot. Yergin, Monroe, long range 3-ball, yes. That's a big shot right there. As we dip under 3 minutes left, a big possession for Mars Hill. Limestone almost got the steal and could have turned things the other way, but instead it ends after another half minute goes by. Another 3. Big answer there, though, as Limestone's Teron Wallace says not just yet. It's back to an 8-point game, 68-80. And the full court press continues. Able to break it. They use Cuthbertson. He hands it off. Now Bauer at the top. We'll just wait. The defense not out to pressure him, so he can just wait and watch that shot clock. Remember, in college, even though there is a shot clock, they still play the 5-second rule. Wallace came out to force him to start the ball. Now they go inside. Turnaround layup, no good. That time Bomar did a great job. It's saved in by Woods, but right to Cuthbertson. And he lays it in for 2. Unlucky there. And hey, look what I found. If you're Cuthbertson, just falls right into his hands and nobody around him for the easy deuce. Good ball movement. Dance the wide open three, and down it goes. Limestone has been doing it all. 17 points, 14 boards. And it's dead even. 7 on the offensive end and 7 on the defensive end. As Limestone sets the press out of the timeout, Mars Hill able to break it. Driving in, they get the layup to go. Monroe drops it in. Now here's Dance. Streaking in, untouched, rattles it around, it comes out, doesn't fall. Bauer takes it away. He and Anderson play a little give and go. Now they find it near side. Jurgen get it across the half-court stripe. 70 seconds remaining in the contest. And a 9-point lead and possession. Monroe, with that 5-second count looming, able to back off and get some space. We dip under a minute left to play. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Mars Hill obviously in no particular hurry. Jurgen just a straight up 3 ball, doesn't go. They get the offensive board and clear it out. Shot clock resets. And now the foul as reaching in for Limestone, Walter Cole.
Foul number 4, Walter Cole, his first 19 foul. Patrick Monroe shooting 1 of 1.
And Monroe will shoot, and as we come to the wide shot there, you see that there is not a single offensive rebound there. The entire team over-huddled by their head coach, Rick Scruggs, who looks like he's going 2-0 to start the season in a regional tournament against 2 Southeastern region opponents from Conference Carolina, defeating Belmont Abbey by 30 yesterday, 85-55, and now an 11-point lead here with 40 ticks remaining against the Limestone Saints. Woods brings it up. Limestone in danger of falling to 0-2. As from the outside, 3-ball good. Tyrone Wallace drops it in. Mars Hill fouled from behind as with a single-digit game. Perhaps trying to extend it here. Limestone willing to foul. Let's see if they can't get a break. Jurgen will get a chance to add to his total. He has 16 here today. As he knocks that in, Jurgen yesterday had 18 points, so he's right around that mark. He's been nothing if not consistent. 18 yesterday, 17 here today. Mars Hill with 3 players in double figures today. Cuthbertson and Jurgen both 17, and then Monroe with 15. This team drops in 11 three-pointers, shooting 34% from beyond the arc. They shoot 41% overall from the floor and come away